Everything. Oi, hey, I forgot to do the start. Welcome, guys. I forgot to do the video, but that's the end of that. How's everyone? I can see comments. Hi, guys. Atanu, thanks for coming on. Number one fan from India. How's it going?
Hey Nat, thanks a lot for calling me that, and thanks a lot for inviting me today. Special video, special player, special team. So had to be here. Had to clear things up to be here. So thanks a lot for inviting me.
No worries, definitely. Ellie, thanks for coming on. You've seen now 2 games. How's it been?
Honestly, I'm so impressed with the girls. Literally, the whole way through the 2 games, I have smiled, I have cheered for them every step of the way. They're literally just incredible. They really, really are. Such a good young team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we've seen comments today when Mark Skinner's saying they're the best under 21 team in the country. And I do agree with him. You know, they are the best 21s in the country. It's shown you can't win the league and cup double the way that we've done it. Only 2 games we've been defeated in. We've got a draw in another, so for me, that's another level. And it's about, I suppose, now stepping up, seeing who's going to step up, and we can talk about that, at the end. But I just want to talk, Atanu, suppose start. Like, when did you first become interested in the 21s? And what did you know about it? How do you follow from India? How did you follow? I mean, we're seeing it more on telly now, and we're seeing it more publicised. But, just those early days that you know about them, that you started to hear about them.
Yeah, it's obviously MU Women Extra, and you used to tweet a lot about the devs. So initially last year, I was just starting into the women's team, so I did not know much about the devs. I knew that there is a player called Maria Edwards. There's obviously Karna Solskjaer, who are playing for the devs. But this season, actually, I think around October or November, I started to take a keen interest in the devs, all thanks to you and Hayes. And from there, I think we've built a good community when it comes to the devs. We've had a lot of good people talk about the devs, and I think it's good that finally there was a stream for the international fans as well. Because for me, I've only seen one game, so my knowledge is only based on that one game and what you guys tell me. But this is a special lot. You don't go and win a double if you aren't worthy enough. So this is the best team in the country right now, and we've got some wonderful players. And it's not about individual brilliance; it's about teamwork. I know Charlotte Healy wasn't very pleased with the performance in the last game. She mentioned that we could have played better, and that's what tells us that there's a vision for Charlotte Healy. There's a vision for the devs. There's a vision for the academy. They want to play a certain way. They want to develop a certain way. So I think if we get to experience that, if it is via Twitter, if it is via television, if it is just some clips on Instagram, it's just clips on Twitter. I think every little things help. Every little things help. And it's tough sometimes because I have to question you so much. I think these days we only talk about the devs 24/7. So I think even Nat is like, okay, stop, Atanu, stop asking me questions.
No, because think, you know what, though, Atanu, recently they've put out the videos, and even just when we were at Everton, we did show, this channel showed videos, this channel showed videos at, it is just fans' perspective, but showed the 3 goals that Megan scored, so you have seen a lot of them. We saw a few from the Chelsea. I'm sure we're going to put some more out for Chelsea. You saw the fan video of Kira's goal. So you do get that kind of, because even say if I'm not there, I do have to rely on other people that are there and speak and talk, because it isn't broadcast. And, I do think that's the next step in the development football. We've seen Catherine talk about it, say, what you've just said about the whole building up. It's not just about individuals. Yes, Maz is fantastic. Yes, Kira's fantastic. Yes, Alicia Hearn. All these players, we can list them off. We can list off all scores. But then you've got to remember your defenders at the back. You've got to remember like Jess Simpson, Neve, Safia, Poppy, Emma Taylor, who just come in this season. You've got to, they build it up. You know, Chloe Williams, Rebecca May, they've been like rocks really at the back, and that's what we've done. It's not something that's just happened overnight that we've come this great team just because we've added in great players. No, these players have been with us for a long time. Like I said, Chloe, Rebecca, they've been with us since, well, Rebecca definitely since 2018, but you know, Chloe joined in 2019. Poppy's obviously came up from the 16 in 19. Obviously Maz came back then, but like Lara Miller, who's now playing at Sheffield, she was a key part in that midfield. And like you say, it's something that I speak to Vicky, and hi Vix. It's the style of play. It's the way they play. It's like what you said. She's building up a team. They're not just sort of individuals. Yes, she did say fantastic individual goals, you know, but we are seeing that structure, that style. It's very well drilled team. That's why, in a way, what you have seen, she has been disappointed with it because it's not been as drilled. I mean, I just want to come on to you, LA. Can you see sort of the style that they do play and how drilled they are into it, and how, like, no matter who drops in what position, you know, we've seen Neve, who's a right back, playing centre back because we've had those injuries.
Yeah,
I still knows the position.
They've been brilliant, whatever position they've played. Like, yeah, I think they've been brilliant. Like, is it Kira Barry as well?
Yeah,
she's been excellent. Remember that goal that we when we seen that goal the other day?
Yeah.
Was it by her? I think
Yeah.
it was, when it. Yeah, she's just incredible. I think. Yeah, I think it's good. The position to play and the style of play they play as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's coming here saying the squad all play together well. Doesn't matter who starts.
Yeah, definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, Vix, they're relentless when winning. They keep going for more. And that's what we have seen, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no stopping it. You know, even when new players come on, we're talking about Megan coming on under 16 and she's going and she's getting a goal. I mean, when she scored that goal, what did you think? The 3-0 goal, Lily?
I thought that was incredible, that goal. Do you know what? I thought that was going wide or something. Oh, no, it didn't, did it? Literally, it actually twirled round right in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was something we didn't expect, that goal. You can say that. Oh, yeah. It was wonderful.
I mean, Atanu, I just suppose want to hear your point of view, because when we talk about relentless, and when I'm at the games, I do text you and I say 1-0, then I say 2-0, 3-0, and you know, it does go like that, doesn't it? But we can see it like 1-0 for a while, and then the 1-0 comes, and then as soon as that 1 comes, you know that 2-3 are quick behind. And you know, what do you feel about that persistentness with the team? Because recently has taken a while maybe to build up to score the goals. They have been playing a lot of games because they played Liverpool, Everton, then back-to-back Chelsea, and that was in like 2-3 weeks. So you've got to sort of give them credit the way that they've played all these games in a short space of time. But, you know, just to suppose on that relentlessness that they get the first, and then you know that, like I say, 2 or 3 is round the corner. What do you think of that kind of style?
Yeah, it's like, of course, it's always good when you score goals, because I think we have a massive goal difference in the academy league, and I think we are the only ones who have more than a 50. I don't actually remember, but we've scored we've scored a lot of goals. I think it all comes down to how Healy wants the players to play. There will be times when we aren't able to score goals, but that's when the change is needed. That's when the game management is needed. That's when the players actually know, at the end of the day, that how I see it, it's not about winning every time. It's about learning from your mistakes. It's about learning from, okay, there's a 0-0 draw coming. Fine. How can we change it? How does the coach changes it? Because even Charlotte Healy is improving herself. It's not that, of course, she's a very good coach. I'm not denying that. But with a 0-0 draw, with a 1-0 loss, with a 2-0 loss, you actually get to improve. You actually get to learn. And I think these players, if they are losing 2-0, and there's something that Charlotte Healy tells them, there's something that the other assistant coaches tell them, that's when they think, okay, fine, let's bring back the comeback mentality, because that's what United is all about. That's in our DNA. So that comeback mentality, pushing yourself to score that one goal. I know there will be times when we aren't scoring any goals. I remember a match recently, the Leicester 3-2 loss. I know it hurts because we played really well. I remember you telling me that we played really well. But yes, it's a 3-2 loss. What can we do about it? We need to
Move
stop
on.
conceding more. Yeah, move on. We need to stop conceding. We need to put extra time on the training pitches. I know it's academy. I know results don't matter, but it's about the improvement. It's about the development, and we've seen that this season.
Yeah, I mean, we do say results don't matter. It is academy football. It's about the development. It's about how they play. And I'm just going to say, Spotty chat box, I am going to come to your question. I do see it. But it is that kind of, how do we learn from it? Because we don't want to lose, whether it's academy, this, that, we don't want to lose. This is Man United. This is the way we should be. We should be winning. And like you say, I mean, I didn't go to that game where you talked about the 3-2 loss, but they were 2-0 down. And they came back to 2-1, and then they were close. I think they got 2-2, and then they got 3, last minute. Yeah. And it was little mistakes. It was silly mistakes. And, I spoke to Charlotte about it. Mark's in the comments, spoke to him about it. That again, when they played Everton, they got beat at LSV pitches. And that, again, was just silly mistakes. It's not the style. It's not that they're not creating chances. It's just making these mistakes. And like you say, those were the best games for us in a way. Losing to Leicester was best for us because it meant that we had to go and win against Liverpool, which, a lot of teams were.
See,
we
what
had
I think is like
to go and win against Everton. Go on, Ellie.
Do you know if like you lose a game and then your mentality comes back up straight after the game? So then your confidence comes back up. And I think that's what they've done. After you lose a game, you get back up, you shake up, and just put it behind you. And then you go again. And that's what they've done, I think.
I think it's like after a loss, you're a wounded lion and you need to bounce back. You need to bounce back, and that's what it's all about. And I think after that 3-2 loss, we won 8-0, kept a clean sheet, scored 8 goals. So that really tells something that, there's the talent, there's that comeback mentality, and there's something about this team that shines through.
Definitely. And, I mean, I'm going to come to this point now. Sporty, chatterbox. Could they do something outside the box and give dev players experience that if not ready, bring them by linking up with US college team? What I will say is there's already a lot of girls that are in the college system now. I actually met one of them on Wednesday, Phoebe Holland. She was a fullback for us. Did very well. There's no reason why she cannot come back. I think this is her, second year now? So, going into the second year or just finish the second year, I don't know how the system really works. Maybe just going into it.
I think she must have finished first year because at the end of last season, she left.
Yeah, so she's just finished first year, going into second year. They do it 3 years, I think, 3 or 4 years. Only God, I don't know. I don't know how the college system works. But she came back. She watched the team. She still got the links. She still knows a lot of people. Obviously, Charlotte's there. I know that Vicky here has posted on a response. I'd love to see them link up with the US colleges. Polly Watson's off to college this summer. So that's going to be her first year. We see with colleges, a lot of girls come back. Lots of women. Moy came back. Alessia Russo came back. Obviously, she's playing for us. Anna Patton. There's other girls at West Ham that have come back. The keeper at Everton, Sandy McKeever, she went out to. So they do a lot of that. And I feel like in the US, they get that physical thing. Mark Skinner talks a lot about the physical and the bridging the gaps and all these kind of things between 21s. It is a big gap. People want to see players straight away. Of course, I want to see them straight away. But I don't want to throw them in and then ruin them. Look at how it's happening with the men's team now. They're not just throwing in Hannibal and things. They're getting a little 10 minutes, little 20 minutes here and there. But we've been going for the Champions League and we still sort of are going for the Champions League. We still want to win it. So, I can see a 21 player being in the team on the bench. They might not get minutes or they might get 10 minutes. Kira Barry, I can definitely see her being on the bench. Maybe Maz, these kind of things. I can see them on the bench, but they might not get on because the pressure is on winning. you know, and people talk about Villa played them, this and that, but Villa aren't, not in our way, they're not on our level. Yeah, they got the point, that's good for them, but they've not got that pressure that we've got. So yeah, going to America, building up your physicality, playing all the week, playing top quality football is a good path. I mean, Ellie, I don't know what you think about players going to America and then coming back into the WSL. Alessia is one player that's done that and doing very well for us. What do you think about you know, going up to USA colleges if that's what the girls choose to do?
I think so, yeah. It's a really good idea, to be honest, because then they can build their experience up over there and then come back to us stronger than ever. So it's a really good point, I think. So they can go in and improve more over there, and look, they can come back to us like the best players ever. That's what I think. I think that's what they should do. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Atanu, you know, I big up, and I just want to say hi, Ellen. Ellen's someone who always tweets and posts and does articles on the in the United United Report, yeah.
Journal.
Yeah, I think United Journal, sorry. United Journal. I write for it, I don't even know what it's called. Sorry, Ellen. United Journal. I'm a bit excited, you see, Ellen. But yeah, Alan, go and read all his stories. I know, Tony, you right. What do you think then about the kids going off to America? For me, yes, I'd love to see them stay, wouldn't you? You know, I'd love to see them come straight up from the first team, from the 21 to the first team. I do think we will see some of that soon. But if now, like I said, you know, we're still trying and fighting for Champions League and we need them quality players like now kind of thing. What do you think, Atanu? Do you think, and we'll touch on loans as well, like going out on loan or going to America, that is the right step for a lot of these, isn't it?
I think it's different with every player. For example, you might see at Atanu, she stayed in England and she's made a name for herself. You see Alessia Russo, she went to the college. She played for North Carolina. I think it was not. No,
UNC,
it was a
yeah.
yeah. She played with Lotte Wubben-Moy. She also went to she's now playing for Arsenal as the centre back. So they are shining now. So it depends on player to player. Sometimes it's about a loan. Sometimes it's about maybe, let's just say, going to college, going to play football in America. And I think physicality is one of the things that comes to mind, like Vicky has mentioned. That college football is very competitive over there, and the emphasis on physicality in foreign leagues is much. It's also there in the WSL, but it's there in the college football as well. So it all depends on players. I think I would love to see Polly Watson and the others who go to college this summer to come back play for us, because obviously we've created a good team. I've seen this on Twitter, and I'd like to say Charlotte Healy's class of 22. We've heard about Fergie's, Ferglings, we've heard about the Busby Babes, we've heard about the class of 92, but for me it's the class of 2022. So we've had a very good team. So yes, there are players, some of them might make it at United, some of them won't, but all of them will make a name for themselves in their respective leagues. So it depends on what the player wants. If someone wants to go to America to play football, yes, do support them and make sure that they develop properly. Support them financially if possible. Support them, telling them, okay, when you finish college, we'll have you back, or giving them reassurances. And if it's a loan, that's perfect, because I think with a dual registration or a loan deal, we might see them train with the first team as well.
Yeah, Vicky's saying class of 2022 is the new 92. And I think just Alan saying here about college football will boost their development. They'll get more competitive appearances. Going to another country really helps, which is integral. This Sporty chat box. College football would allow players experiences off the fields with a growing as a person as well as a player. Yeah, of course, definitely. And I think I suppose, Ellie, what do you think? There's Kana, there's Maz, there's Rebecca, and they might not get straight away into our first team.
Yeah.
But What do you think about them maybe going on loan?
Yeah, this is what I've spoke about before. I think them going out on loan to another club, maybe in the Championship or even one in WSL, just to get that more game time. I reckon because we can all admit if they come straight to our first team, there's always competition in front of them, or to either get them on the pitch. Like even Cabby Jones as well. I know she's in our first team as well, but even I think with her, she needs to go and move out on loan so she can get more game time because she's outstanding. The last 2 games I've watched her, she's been outstanding. She's like really skillful, so I think she does deserve that chance more like time on the pitch. But with our team, it's like players before her. If you know what I mean, that's what it kind of is. So yeah, I think if they go out on loan, yeah, they'll have more chance. And Mars, I would love it. I'd love to see her in our first team. She's literally outstanding. She really, really
Definitely.
is.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of love for Maria. I think she's the one that's, you know, we've always talked about a baby girl. You know, I saw the stats today. It's something like 35 goals or something across all like 20 appearances. But I just Atanu, touch on this. I mean, loaning them to something like Villa. And we have a relationship with Carla Ward. She has taken our players before on loan. Yes, it was at Sheffield. Yes, it wasn't at Villa. But for someone like Carrie, maybe even a Maz, you know, it is Carrie. If you look at her, she's playing for Wales first team. So she's going up against, you know, French full experience internationals, getting player of the match kind of thing. So when I've heard like some of our fans sort of say, well, we might as well sell her if we're going to loan her. And then I've heard some Villa fans, not Mark, but sort of say, well, is she even that good if she's playing in your devs? But she's playing first team football internationally. I mean, she is good enough and she should be in the WSL, you know, getting minutes. So a team like Villa or Leicester or, well, I'm not going to say them that's coming up because no. Yeah,
No,
but
not
a
at all.
team...
We won't be sending them anywhere.
Yeah. But Villa, Leicester, and the sort of local-ish. That's decent, isn't it?
Yeah, I think talking about Carrie Jones, first of all, she's underestimated a lot, even by our own fans sometimes. People seem to forget about the Conti Cup games. Yes, we struggled against Durham towards the end, but who made sure that we were in the lead? It was Carrie Jones and Ivana Fuso. How did Carrie play against Manchester City? Really well. In the first half, I think Ivana Fuso scored. She assisted that goal, if I'm not wrong. People seem to forget that Carrie Jones made an instant impact against Arsenal in a game that we lost 2-0. If she had been subbed on earlier, we would have maybe scored a goal or maybe scored an equalizer. So that's what it is all about. I think Carrie Jones's transition into the first team was at the right time, but the circumstances right now aren't in her favor, and that's why we aren't seeing her play much often. And I think it was the France game. You're right, where she's played really well against a side containing Renard, who's a very good centre back. So I think Carrie Jones needs a loan. Definitely, we've talked about this. I think Aston Villa or Leicester would be fantastic. I don't want her to go to the championship because I think she's too good for the championship teams, and that's just my opinion. I'm not hyping her up. It's a talent, and we I think Carrie Jones gave a really good cross to Maria Edwards in the first leg of the Chelsea game. So that was a good
Yes. I
sign
know
as
what you
well.
mean.
Yeah, someone posted a clip on Twitter or social media. I don't remember. But yeah, that just tells you that Carrie Jones is right there. I think there are a lot of players, so it all depends on how we manage the players. Send them on loans, to dual registrations. Because right now, I don't think Carrie Jones staying at United first team or demoting to the devs, that wouldn't help her career. That wouldn't help her development. It's about giving her proper game time so that she's developed even more. So yeah, Villa is a good shout. I don't want her to go to Leicester. I want her to go to Villa because I think they'll do good with her playing her as the attacking midfielder. With Leicester, I would love to see Fuso go to Leicester. And
Yeah.
like you mentioned, we won't be giving anyone to Liverpool. If they want, they can pay huge prices, and that
No,
then
no,
as well
no,
we won't
no.
be accepting there.
No. They can get the
Yeah,
money out ready, and then we'll laugh
yeah.
at their face. We'll slam the door still.
Wait until the last minute.
Yeah. We'll say yeah, and then the last minute we'll
Yeah.
say no.
No.
Pull it out last minute. Cheryl, you okay? I think we met. Yeah, we did. Did they ever train with our first team? Yes, they do. I think even Atanu and Ellie, we've seen pictures, haven't we? And we've shared them. Chloe's been training up. Kira Barry, Mark actually made reference to Kira Barry training up, and she's 16. Carrie obviously already plays with the first team. Tara, who a lot of people don't talk about because she is on loan.
Oh yeah,
now
Tara.
at Blackburn. Tara Bourne, Maz has trained up. Kana's trained up. Rebecca May has trained up. What do you think the importance is? I mean, you do a bit of football, Ellie.
Safia,
Training.
you're forgetting Safia.
Safia has obviously trained up and been on the bench and has gone on dual twice. What do you think the importance is? Just what do you think, your opinion, Ellie, like, of them training up? Some of them might not be ready to go on loan, 16 years old, of course, they're probably not ready. But to train up at 16 is with, like, Zellum and Leah and Hansen, training with those players. How do you think it's making them get better?
Well, first off, they're like looking up to like examples on the pitch. So for them, playing with them players, it's like something special as well. So then they can get them up to speed and help them develop individually. So I think it is good for them to train them, because
definitely
training with the first team as well.
It is, because really, when you think about it as well, it's like Champions League. That's the level that we want to be at. So that's a level that you've got to be better than. If Kira comes in, you've got to be better than Leah. Obviously, she's not going to be, but that's the level where if you want to be playing week in, week out, that's the level we want to see you at. So when Leah's cutting in, I think we saw a lot of goals that they just showed a little quick, and Leah just picking it up, bang, the other end.
Yeah,
so that's
they
what
want them to have the same.
Yeah. That's what they have to do.
Yeah.
I suppose here's a question from Sporty Chat Box. Is dual contract, and I just want to put this to Atanu, because you know a lot about it. Like Chloe's been on dual, Safia's been on dual, but obviously now Tara, well, because she signed the first team contract, she's out. But I suppose for people like Maz has been on a loan. I don't think they really had dual back then, but dual is more a big thing now. I think that they're pushing a lot more. Do you think dual is better than loan, so they can train with us, get the first team experience? I mean, Tara is still training with us, and then goes to Blackburn, which is part-time, so she still does that, and that's something that we've done before with other players. When they've gone off to Sheffield, Ebony Salmon, for example, she's went off to Sheffield but still trained with us, but got their minutes on a Sunday. So what do you think? Do you think it's better for them to be with us? Or I think Carrie, if she did go to a WSL, she would just go full as a loan, and I feel like she would need that. But like a Kana, a Maz, Rebecca, would you like to see them on dual, or would you like to see them full loans? I mean, what do you think?
I think dual would be better. So there are some pros and some cons. So I'll focus on the pros right now. With dual registrations, it's like even if you're not being selected by your other club, basically, for example, you're going to XYZ club. So if you aren't being picked for the XYZ club, you can come back, play with the devs or play with the first team, or like depends on where you were playing before you went on the dual registration. So that way you won't be missing out on game time. That's a good thing. I think Chloe Williams as well, we've seen her play with the Rovers. She was on the bench in their last game, and she played for us in the playoff final second leg. So she got that match day experience with the first team of Blackburn Rovers. She came back and won a trophy, so that really helps her morale, and it shows that dual registration is good. But here's the con: if you aren't being picked, you fight even harder to get into the starting 11 or get into the bench. So there's that thing. If like you always have a safety net with dual registration, that if you aren't being picked, you'll come back to your parent club and play for them. With a dual registration, that's the only flaw that I think. Yes, game time is important, but it's about developing players mentally as well. So if you aren't being selected for your other club, it's good that you have to fight even harder to get into the first team and showcase your talent on a proper level.
Lanzel just has a contract there. Does it work if they're loaned to a WSL team? I think it does, Lanzel, because we saw with Safia, she was allowed to go
Yeah,
dual for one game,
one
and that
day.
was
Yeah.
to Leicester. I mean, I suppose, what do you think when that happened? I mean, you're the biggest Safia fan I know, Atanu.
I
It does
think
show a lot that they called up Saf over potentially their under 21. I mean, they've got. I know
yeah.
that this is the first year that they've had their under 21s, but they had no keepers, needed an emergency loan, and the first person they thought of was Safia. So what do you think of that? So it does work for WSL. Go on.
Yeah, I think that's what Healy's team is all about. We are the best in the country right now when it comes to academy football. So teams want the players. You see Safia going there. We've seen some players mention Maria Edwards. They want Maria Edwards, but we are like, okay, let's just play with your minds, and then we'll say no at the end. But yeah, I think Safia Middleton Patel has really played well, even for Wales under 19s recently. She did play really well against England, even though they lost. But I think the first half, 0-0 at halftime, much of the credit goes to Safia for making those amazing saves. We've seen journalists mention Saf. So I think, yes, there is a huge talent, but it's all about developing it even more. Safia is wonderful right now, but I would love to see at her level best, at a top team in the coming years. So yes, it's really good that Leicester called her up for a 1 day contract. That that is an indication that yes, we have that like talent right now. People want that talent. People wish that they had some talented players. I wouldn't take it out on Leicester under 21's goalkeeper because it's the first time, and
Yeah,
maybe yeah, but out of everyone, if they could have asked for anyone like in the WSL only, some third keeper, some reserve keeper, but they specifically took Safia Middleton Patel. So I am really happy about that. Of course, it's a United player going out,
Yeah.
and she made the match day squad for the Arsenal game for in the league. I think that we drew
Yeah,
1-1.
she did. You know,
Pre-match,
Ellie.
yeah,
Yeah,
pre-match training with Mary Oaks. I mean, that's
yeah,
the dream.
yeah. Ellie, I mean, what do you think when it shows, WSL clubs want to loan our development players, 21s, Safia's 17 and she's getting called up to the matchday squad. Leicester want her in their squad. How does it make you feel as a fan, I suppose, and watching them, and you've seen her play now twice, Saf? What do you think of her as a keeper? And just like you said, like I said about seeing her getting loaned and stuff like that.
Oh, she's fantastic, I think. Probably like the next Mary and Bagley, to be fair. She's actually fantastic. Like the other day, she saved goals. She literally saved a goal, like right on top. She's fantastic, and I think to get loaned out to Leicester, it's fantastic. Like they're looking at her like, yeah, you can come for us. You've got some experience. Yeah, that's what she's just outstanding the way she plays as well. Really
I mean, who for you, Ellie? I know you said Kira and Maz, but who I suppose across and Carrie you said, but is there anyone maybe under the radar that we've not talked about that you think played well as well?
I think Poppy's been a good captain. Yeah, she's captain. She's been a good captain for them all. I think she really has. She got all the team in order and told them where to go, or if they needed some, shape up. She's been there, and I don't think Ellie's not played yet. I'm not sure. Yes.
Who? Sorry.
Is it Ellie Kinder something?
Oh, Ella Kizet. Yeah.
She didn't play when we was there, did she? But
no, she played. She played. Yeah, in the centre midfield.
Yeah, I thought she was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Probably her, I think. She's good on the ball as well.
Yeah. I mean, Vicky, I love Neve, and like guys in the comments just come in and and say, I mean, we've seen Neve a couple of times in matchday squads, Atanu. What
Yeah.
do you think of
Uh,
Neve? Because she has
so
played centre back.
Yeah, towards the end of December last year, basically, she was in the matchday squad for games like Villa, another game Birmingham, Brighton. So she was in the matchday squad. She played really well. I have only seen her clips and the game against Birmingham in the cup final. Neve Murphy is the real deal. Uh, Rebecca May and Neve Murphy are ready, in my opinion, for the first team integration. Yes, it all depends whether it works out or not. But I think Neve Murphy has that talent to be in the first team. And like Ellie mentioned, sorry, there's slow Ella Kinzet, Ella Tooney. So sorry. I think Ellie mentioned Ella Kinzet. I think she is one of the players that goes under the radar. She's a good player, and I think I saw some photos that she captained the side in the last game, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So Kinzet is another one. Like I'd love to see her more. Like I'd love to see play more, and I think Neve Murphy is ready, like you mentioned. Neve Murphy on the wings, in the full back position, and as you mentioned, she plays as the centre back in absence of Poppy. So she's another player.
Yeah, I mean, Vicky's saying here for at full back, so balls over the top are fantastic. She did fill in at centre back though, but that's going to be an experience. And then we have seen her, me and Vicky, the time when we did go and watch Chelsea in the pouring rain in December. She then was playing a bit further forward, so she can play on that wing. She can get up and down, and I feel like it's time that we see. For me, I feel like she is the next one. I speak to a lot of people. I speak to people that have been watching for a long time and known her for a while, and she's playing in the under-19s Scotland squad. For her next step will be that 21 but first team Scotland squad, and I feel like she can make it. Mark here now. How long is Rebecca May out for? We don't know, Mark. We saw her on crutches. We saw her with a knee brace. They don't really report the devs. We are seeing more reporting, but they won't tell you this is what she's done or this is what's happened. And we just pray for her. We send her lots of love. I mean, you saying you think she's ready. She is a key part because when she plays, she drives. You saw her obviously, Ellie, Rebecca May versus Everton. Big tall girl. She was in crutches. But what do you think of Rebecca? Just that game you saw. And I'll come on to you after Atanu. The game you saw, Everton, Rebecca May.
Did she play for that game?
Yeah, tall, really tall.
Oh yeah,
in the midfield.
Oh yeah, she was incredible. Like the passes that she did, they were really good, and then the free balls and everything.
Yeah,
she's a really good credit to the team, I reckon. She really is. And like I said, I just really hope to see them in the first team. I keep saying that, but sometimes it can be hard. Really hard for.
No, it is. Atanu, you've obviously seen Rebecca, and she scored against Birmingham, and you've heard about her for a long time. What do you think of her? I mean, Mark. I know Mark's favourite player is Rebecca. Just from what you saw and what you heard, scores bangers, scores worldies only. What do you think?
Vicky's reading my mind right now because I wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Wonderful goals. I think in terms of impact on the pitch, I think she reminds me of a certain men's team player, Bruno Fernandes, just because she's all over the pitch, doing those through balls, making those game plays, making those runs. So I think Rebecca May is one of those players that I'd love to see with the first team, just because I think we lack a player of her capability in the team. There are players who play different roles, there's different responsibilities, but I think with the Rebecca May in the team, we would look really good. And we've seen that Mark always likes to have more and more midfielders. So a player with Rebecca's capability would do her only good. And with Rebecca May, I think injuries haven't been haven't helped her a lot. Seeing her on crutches, I think even in the first leg celebration picture that the women's team official account posted, there was a player who was on crutches, so we identified her as Rebecca May. And in the second leg, after we won the trophy, she was on the crutches. It's heartbreaking to see that, because I think would have loved to see Rebecca May start and score another banger, another worldie. She scored a worldie in the cup final, and that I've only seen that one game, and I can understand why Natalie is so passionate about the devs, why Ellie
Mm,
goes and watches the devs, because they are a special bunch. And
mm,
yeah, like Ellie mentioned, those through balls just wonderful. I think
mm,
we've got good midfielders: Chloe Williams, Ella Kinsett,
mm,
Rebecca May. So it's doing us only good.
mm,
But do you know what I want to see more of? Coverage of it. That's what I want to see more of.
mm,
They do it for the men's under 21s, so why not ours? There's no difference. Like for
mm,
Atanu, he can't watch it, so
mm.
that's what they need to do. Put it on MUTV.
Yeah, and I just want to, I suppose, talk about coverage now. We saw Charlotte mention the fact that we have fans, the fact that she moves games to evening so that fans can come, the fact that it was put out very publicly. The Chelsea first leg game was put out very publicly that Man United were pushing for fans. Chelsea had reasons why. But, I think we saw also Emma Sanders' tweet saying Manchester United want fans. And I feel like that's not maybe a tweet that we see a lot of. Man United pushing for fans, Man United supporting fans, as much. You know what I'm saying? I think they're often criticised a lot. Our own fans criticise the club. And yes, I do want to see coverage. But we have to think about it. Is it Man United really stopping it? Because if Chelsea didn't want even fans to attend the game, why would they want it on telly? If other clubs don't even tweet about it, why would they want it on telly? Why would Liverpool want it to go on telly, us winning 8-0? I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but I do think there is that kind of thing. I think the FA control the rights. I think both teams have to agree. Obviously, I think the cup final went on telly because we wanted it on MUTV. I think Birmingham were happy, and then FA player said, "Well, we'll put it on instead." So I suppose, Atanu, I mean, just your point of view as an international fan, you want to see it, but what is your point of view? If you other WSL fans, do they want to see it, or is it just sort of? Do you think it's mainly a Man United fan want to see it? Because I think other teams do want to see it. I know Villa really want to see theirs, but the rest of the league, I feel like there's not that drive for it. What do you think?
I think even if a game like Villa versus Birmingham was on, I'd love to watch that. It's not just about United. Of course, my preference is always United, but if a game like Villa and Birmingham, who both have a very good academy, that would be a good game. I think there are fans who are interested in them in these games. There are fans who really want to watch the games. I know some fans who aren't able to come down to Altrincham. There are fans who can't go to Cobham sometimes, so they also want to watch their teams. It's just frustrating because I really thought that they'd stream the playoff finals because it's such a huge occasion for both the teams. And just let me ask you this: after, like, in 2019, we got our academy, and in 2019, towards the end, we got that COVID outbreak, COVID pandemic. So that league was cancelled. 2020, I think there was no league for the academy, if I'm not wrong. And this is, yeah, so this time it's the proper one. So they could have actually forged a plan. They could have planned something special, because it's after a long time that the academy teams are properly playing. So it would have really helped with the visibility, because in the pandemic only we saw a huge increase in the fan base amongst the women's teams. So that would have really helped. And I know people, I know myself, I know people here in India who would love to watch this United team, and it's just really frustrating. Let's just not mention the fans. Let's mention the players' families. There are players, international players, who play in England. There are family members who won't be able to come down to support their children. There are family members who are too old to come down to support their children, support their grandchildren or children. So think about them. Like, of course, for example, if I am playing tomorrow, I would love for my grandparents or my parents to watch me play. If they aren't able to watch me play, they aren't able to come down to the games, that would really hurt the player and the family members as well. So from that perspective also, if you look at it, it's really frustrating, it's really disheartening that there is nothing going on. I know the Birmingham versus United game was a huge step towards the right direction. But was it actually a step, or was it just that one occasional game that they streamed?
Well, I think that now that it's been streamed, they can't unstream. I think the fact that now
Yeah,
they've set that
like yeah,
perspective that the final was shown.
I don't know the specifics behind why aren't they streaming. I'm just making my point that they should be streaming it. So
Yeah.
I know there are various things going on that you obviously know that there might be things they aren't able to stream just because they don't want to, or whatever the case is. I don't really know, but it's really it's really right now I'm talking about it, so it's really making me sad. So I'll stop talking about it now.
Okay. I suppose I want to go into something happier then. Ellie, the supporters club got in touch, and Charlotte Healy has said everyone who came, they just want to say thank you for the support throughout the season, attending home and away. It means the world, and it means the world to her staff, and on all the players. So that's a little exclusive there. So how does it make you feel that when you hear stuff like that, and when not just for the first team, but you being a fan and supporting the 23s, it means a lot to them as well.
Oh, it's just amazing, because that's what I mean. It's amazing to get behind them, not just the first team, like the devs as well. Get behind them, like we sang and everything, just like we do with the first team. Then they feel that connection with us, I think. And after lockdown and everything, they wanted their fans back, and then the devs wanted that support. So that's what I mean. We went to their games loud and proud, just like we are with the first team. That'll never change. Just different players, and that's what I think. It's like, to them, hearing us singing in the stands, I think that's the most amazing thing ever. Because we're getting behind them.
No, definitely. And I do know, like, we sing a lot of the songs that are similar to the first team, and I do know that they really love the, singing in the sun, singing in the rain, we're Man United, we're gonna get. I do know that that's a favourite of the team, and they were singing it on the coach home after they won the cup. So it's one of their favourites. But Atanu, I just want to come to you. I know you've got some questions, and guys at the comments, get in the questions. But I suppose just as an international fan, as someone who does feel, we try to make you feel as connected. Do you feel connected? And just, I suppose, the questions back to us.
Yeah. So now I'll be running the interview. Ellie, I'll ask you this first. Like, recently you've watched a lot of games. So which one was your favorite goal recently? Like, even if it was the last game.
From the devs?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, I must say the other day that unexpected goal by Kira. It was out of this world.
Was it the second goal?
Yeah. It was, wasn't it? Yeah. When I thought it was going wide, and that it didn't, and then me and Nat and everyone was like, whoosh, because it literally went right round. Honestly, that's got to be my favourite goal.
Yeah, that was really good.
Nat, I know your answer, but let me guess your answer. It would be that Megan Schofield's volley.
Yeah, that was very, very good. I'm not gonna lie. I also think that Carrie, when she was at Everton, she put it through the keeper's net, and it unfortunately hit off the post. That would have been an absolute world-class goal. But a lot of goals from Rebecca May have been up there this season. Even when I went to watch them play the 8-0 against Liverpool, there was a lot of good goals in that. I'd say Fuso played that game and she scored a great one as well. And just even when the first team come in, they scored some great goals. But yeah, I would say as well, Kira Barry's one was amazing. It was we've all seen it. They've put it out, haven't they? But yeah, her goal versus Birmingham in the final, and then obviously this one. For me, there's big things to come from Kira. I'm very, very, very excited. That she's training up all the time. So I'm very excited to see what happens with her and Megan, to be honest. Can I just touch on this?
Yeah. You can guess, Nat. You both can guess.
Safia,
Yep,
Yeah,
South, definitely.
yeah. But
definitely.
it's from that perspective that
Yeah, yeah.
there's this representation. She's a fantastic player, but for me, why Safia? That's because the representation matters, and
Mm.
it's the first time we are seeing someone from an Indian origin win something huge at United, be it the men's team, first team, women's team, academy. So it's a huge deal. One last question. I'll ask you both. Ellie, first of all, if by chance there was a stream going on, like I'm asking this in general, the devs streaming was going on a lot sooner, like for example, it started in 2019. Do you think you would have gained that interest in devs much sooner? Like you've gained a lot of interest in watching the devs recently. But if it was 2019, of course, I know the answer. It would have been yes. But still, what would you feel if the stream was going on from 2019?
Yeah, because then maybe I'd have supported him from the beginning. That this is what makes me quite sad about it, because I've literally only just gone and the season's ended now. So I really do wish it was streamed back then, because then look, I know a lot more about the devs and go to all these matches. It's only for Nat and the others that I've mentioned the devs. That's why I've been going, because it's local really, like Altrincham. But like you said, yeah, I'd love to have seen it streamed, because maybe I would have gone to more games. That's what kind of annoyed me about the season for the devs, because I've only been to 2, and it's
Yeah.
over the season now. So.
Nat, what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, well, obviously I've only just met Ellie this year. But yeah, no, it is kind of sad that it's. I mean, I don't know if anyone's read Catherine Batt's interview, that she put out. She came to watch it. She's put it out. She's put out a lot of information about how it started and all that kind of stuff, about how Charlotte said about we've been working hard for 2-3 years on it, and I've seen that hard work, and it is a shame that people haven't seen it before. There was a lack of information. I mean, I'm seeing Vic saying here, I've provided the information for people, and yeah, I have. And Mark is the visibility. They don't show shabby goals. It's the best kept secret, and it is a secret, and it's something. That's why I was very emotional, overcome in a way when I did read Catherine's article, because it's out there now. No one's keeping it a secret. It's not. It's not just me tweeting and saying, "Oh, they're great, they're great, they're great." It's in the paper, written on paper. These are the best 21s in the country, and to just see that, it just does feel me. I'm feeling like I'm going to cry now. Mark Skinner talked about proud dad. He's only been at 3 games. I've been there 3 years watching it. I remember, getting into a behind closed doors under 21s games. That's kind of thing, and that's why she is the best, Charlotte, in a way, because I remember I was going before lockdown. I even went to the first final in 18 when we weren't even in the league. It was actually a devs team then. That's the reason why I call them devs, because that's when I first watched them. It was development team. It wasn't a 21s team. Now it is a 21s team, but I'm just still calling them devs because it's what I've started. But the devs is just pretty much people that are called up from the 16s, and there's no middle thing, but it's just everyone that's sort of left over, not left over, but like a reserve kind of thing. Whereas this 21s is a structure, there's a league, and I remember the first league season was cut short because of COVID. We were in the middle of the league. It was a full league. It wasn't north and south like it is now. It was a full league. Chelsea went unbeaten, so Chelsea are talking a lot. But they didn't talk when they were unbeaten. They were actually tweeting a lot then when they were unbeaten. They were telling everyone how they were the best. Now Manchester United has come and beat them 6-2. They have excuses ready. So I just find it very funny that, I mean, I know Mark Stanyard's on, and a lot of the Villa boys, Chris Frev came down, and when they came and watched, Villa, they used to be very tight games versus Villa. It is still tight, but they used to be 4-3, end-to-end, very transitional games. Now we've got control of the game. We've always got a control of the game. And like what Charlotte says, it might not be the best performance like you've seen. Birmingham, that's the game that you've seen. That wasn't our best. That was probably too transitional. And I agree with her. It wasn't good. But we still went and won 3-0. You know, so that's what we've learned, I feel like, during a lot of these years. And this is our first full season, but I still think during the COVID, during the lockdowns, we've obviously been working very, very hard. And, you know, she's talking about the step ups between 16s and 21s. I don't think there's no gap there. There's no gap there because, you know, you see Megan coming in and scoring 4 goals. There ain't no gap. The gap, well, there probably was, but that's now been closed, in my opinion. And I feel like 16s can now step up. You know, Alicia Hearn, Kira Barry, Megan. We're seeing Holly Deering coming in and doing very well when she came on. So we're seeing that step up isn't as big there. It's just now let's close the gap between the 21s and the first team. And I think it's coming. You know, I think people need to be patient.
Well, can I mention as well?
Yeah.
Do you know what touched my heart the most? The other day, seeing the first team there, it was incredible to see him coming and watching him. It was just out of this world. I was thinking there was going to be 2 there. Then they all turned up, most of them. So it's really good because it's showing them appreciation. Like the first team coming to watch. So
no, definitely. Yeah. I think it matters. I think that matters because it shows it's all one, and it shows that, you know, you're our team. That's our team. These can be these are our teammates, you know. And I just feel like that gap, the 21s, is big. It was massive when it first started because we weren't even in the proper league, so it's massive. But I feel slowly it's going down. And, you know, Carrie is when we talked about that, you know, maybe alone and then she's ready. But I just feel like soon, you know, Vicky's talking about it here. But this one is, you know, coming on versus this, and she's 16, and just wait for this one because I feel like I don't even want to hype her because, but I just feel like now we've got full seasons and now this dual thing's open. I just feel like when she's 19, she'll be popping. Yeah, so that's 3 years' time. Just
34 goals in 15 appearances for under 16s this season.
Exactly, man. And she's already got a hat-trick against City. And then, Vicky's saying here, they've been lauded and all this kind of stuff. But I don't see, you know, how they can be lauded because I feel like what Mark said, we are the best 21s.
Yeah.
And it's taken a while because we've had to build it up. But I think we've built it up to where we need to be. And, like, let's not let this standard slip now. Let's keep pushing it through. And then let's making sure.
We really have, like, stars for the future now. You know, these under 21s.
Nat, I wanted to ask you if, like, for bridging the gap, under 23s or under 19s, what would you prefer?
I'm happy that you know, I just wanted to say just a quick back to what Ellie's saying about that. We have talent for the future. I feel like when we didn't have a first team, all that talent went. It obviously went to City, it went to Liverpool, it went to thing. Now everyone's trying to downplay because they've realised, shit, United are going to keep these girls now. It's, you know, people like Izzy Christiansen, Zellum, Tooney, Ramsey, they shouldn't have got to go anywhere. Now they don't have to go. Now we're going to see these players. They're going to be Man United. But in terms of bridging the gap, I see a lot of men's fans say to me, you don't want a 23, you don't want a 23. I know Vicky's big on a 23. I would like to see a 19s or an 18s or something like that, and then a 23. But I feel like it has to be done properly. I feel like the leaving the RTC at 16 is too young because 16 to 21 is massive. So then obviously, like you look at Megan, she's now playing 21, and it's going to be a step up for her. But you know, she's doing it already. So I just feel like she needs maybe another. If she had like a 19s and then a 21s, or maybe a 19s and a 23s, then it would be good.
But then it all comes down to if all the teams would do it, like do change 21s to 23s and then include a 19. So that depends.
Yeah, it's all about whether. I mean, I know Vicky's saying, you know, lip service and all this kind of stuff. I do feel there is support there from the FA. Tony is a really good guy and he's pushing this league and he wants it to grow. And, you know, Durham are coming in it now. Sheffield are getting a 21, so it is going to have some of these top teams. These are good 16-year-olds. So, you know, we're going to see good teams, you know, coming in. And I feel like a team like Durham will be good because it's we know how they play. We know they're very physical, so it's going to add that extra dynamic. And we have played Durham 21s before, and they've beaten us. This was a couple of years ago, just before COVID. But we know how they play. We know how they played when in the championship, and if they're just, it's going to be easy for them to pull through to the championship and then back down, kind of do that step like that. So it is going to be good. It is going to be like playing against full-grown, teams. So I'm excited for the teams that are getting added in, and the 21 league growing. But I do feel, it needs a buy-in from everyone to have the 19s or an 18s kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it has to be from every side, because it wouldn't make sense if only United had a under 19s and under 23s. So I agree to you with that point. And yes, I think 16s, after leaving the RTC and then joining the under 21s, it is a huge step. But we are seeing people accommodating well. We've seen Kiera Barry, Alicia Ahern, Megan Sofield. So there are players who will find it very easy, but there will be some other players who wouldn't find it very easy. So it all depends on players to players. So that's why I just want under 18s or an under 19s. So instead of a 23s, let's just focus on that. First of all, that's what I would like to have. And because if you're playing for the devs for around, say you're 17, you're joining the under 21s, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So 4 or 5 years. You might go on a dual registration in between that, but 3 years with the under 21s, I would much prefer. Like it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but an under 18s would be better in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, I think that's probably where they are going to look, because I know that even with the 21s, England stepping up and into the England first team, that's why I think we're seeing, a lot of people are critical of, people like Jill Scott and all that playing when maybe they're not playing all the time, but there's not maybe enough talent through the 23s and that all then. So I do think it is something that the FA do need to look at, changing up the pathways, making it bigger, making it longer, making sure there's, development all the time, players are playing, and, clubs are really buying into the RTC. Yeah, they're doing it, but then there's places they can go. The pathways are clear at every club. I don't think it's clear at every club. I feel like maybe some don't use it as much as they should, but yeah, that's probably a different show. Hey, Mark Stanyard just asked a question, and I suppose I want to go to you, Ellie. What do you think? Because we've not come to you for a bit, but what do you think? Do you think they should get contracts under 18? All of them? Or it's obviously selected, isn't it? They select a few.
Well, yeah, I think so, because they need that development, I think. But then again, they can't go straight into a contract, if you know what I mean. Because they need to build that development first, I think. And just little kick arounds of other teams and all that.
Yeah, I do feel like there needs to be some kind of security, though, for the players.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you think, Atanu, because we have 19-year-olds playing, but, what's their sort of security, kind of thing? Where's the it's obviously good that they're playing for the clubs, but they want to know that they can, they've got that security. I mean, what do you think?
Maybe it might be an unpopular opinion, but when it comes to the academy, I would love to see a professional contract after they turn 20 or 21, not 18, because I think because of the current system that the academy has, after leaving the RTC, you have to be with the under 21s. There isn't another team. So just because of that, I would prefer having a professional contract after they turn 20 or 21, or maybe when they are just on the cusp of leaving the academy and moving to the first team.
Yeah, I mean, Vicky, contracts would be good. Have some commitment. Should be some kind of financial support.
Yeah. So the financial support should be there. No, I'm not saying that, but just for professional contracts, because sometimes you might get a professional contracts and you might build up expectations, and then the club sells you the club maybe doesn't include you in the first team. So from that point of view, I'm just saying that a professional contract at 20 or 21 would be preferred, just because of the current system that we have in the academy.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, guys, I think we're going to wrap up. We can go in an hour. Atanu, I'm taking off host duty now. No, I'm joking. Ellie, thank you for coming on. Thank you for everyone who's watched. Sorry I didn't do the video straight away, but yeah, we got a bit excited and we've just been talking. You know, thank you for everyone for tuning in. The comments, like you said, like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned. Next week we've got a good show as well. With Tom Gary just talking about growing the women's game. So keep your eyes peeled on our socials and on our Twitter for what's to come with that. You know, Atanu, where can everyone find you? I know your headers there, but you know, just tell us a bit about what's coming up for you.
Yeah, I've been busy with the academic stuff recently, So, but I'll be writing some more academy pieces. Another one coming in a few days. So keep your eyes peeled towards my Twitter and the United Journal, because I'll be posting it on there. And yes, so hopefully after the season ends, we'll have a good season review as well. We will talk about the strives that we've made. So yeah, follow me on Twitter to stay updated, and you can find me on Only One United talking about the women's team, and often Natalie and I will be talking about the devs. So in the Twitter replies, so you can keep your eyes peeled over there.
Yeah, definitely. And Ellie, where can people find you if they want to interact and watch?
Yeah, my name's here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I just post all about the women and the devs. That's all I post about. So
okay. So go and check out Ellie if you want to see that. And yeah, definitely Sunday. Cheryl's saying excited for Sunday. Mark's saying good show. So yeah, we'll be at LSV Sunday supporting. I'm sure you'll be watching as well, Atanu.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.